Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I am so excited to be here today with three of our very special leaders. My name is Comfort Nkiri. I'm the Senior Manager for Skills Development here at the JCI World Headquarters. Allow me to introduce to you Nihal, Zoroglu, Marlen, Wehner, and Asha, Auckloo. And of course, we are all supported by our amazing Secretary General, Kevin Hain. Thank you very much, great leaders of our organization, for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Today we are about to have a bit of a surprise show. This is not something we actually did plan for a long time. We decided to come up with it since we are nearing the 1-year anniversary of the Global Entrepreneur Masterclass, which was launched sometime last year. And as such, we thought it would be a great time to let our members know some of the exciting values, some of the new additions we have brought, or the Global Leadership Masterclass is bringing to them. And so we have done some investigations and all of that. We are here today to let the cat out of the bag, at least for the very first start. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, you give me the opportunity to give the floor to Secretary General Kevin, who will be talking to us about some of these additional values we are bringing to members. Secretary General Kevin, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Senior Manager Comfort, and hello to everybody watching online. I'm sending you my warmest greetings from an unusual location. I am in Asuncion, Paraguay, at our World Headquarters office, meeting with the team right now and working with JCI in America for great impact here. So this shows how global we are as an organization and as a team too. So to put things into perspective, as Comfort mentioned, we're nearing the 1-year anniversary of the launch of the first Global Entrepreneur Masterclass. And I wanted to give a quick recap of the purpose and why we have these masterclasses. The way we're working on skills development right now, and we have been working on skills development for the last few years, is to take the individual area of opportunity and level things up so that, like everything at JCI, we must be perceived as a premium organization with premium members and premium added value to all of our members. We cannot level down and dumb things down to the lowest common denominator. On the contrary, everything must be leveled up. And that's the goal of JCI skills development, to be perceived as a global benchmark of excellence for youth leadership development training. And where we want to be as an organization that develops leaders for a changing world, and that is really seen as the incubator for future talent. So the Global Leadership Masterclasses are all pre-recorded sessions which aim to really provide with the best trainers and the best coaches a full leadership journey for our members around the world, or any young people who want to develop their leadership skills, even if they are non-members, and to give them this expertise and general overall vision to be able to grow. Let me just share my screen briefly. As you know, JCI as an organization offers young people who are maybe already leaders, but especially future leaders who have the talent to succeed, but maybe don't know it yet, and they need the spark. We give them 4 types of actions and learning by doing opportunities: programs, events, trainings, and projects, which are aligned with all 4 areas of opportunity: business and entrepreneurship, international cooperation, individual development, and community impact. As JCI develops leaders for a changing world, we develop a specific kind of leader. We're not looking at just creating community champions or super trainers and communicators, or business networking champions. We're looking at giving an all-rounded leadership development journey and experience, so the leaders who we will develop are at the same time global entrepreneurs, global networkers, global communicators, and global change makers. And thanks to JCI, over the course of their JCI careers, they will develop the skills to become, thanks to these 4 user personas, to become leaders in government or business and civil society. And I've seen that in many of the countries I've recently visited, that we have created leaders and we will create future leaders as well. Thanks to this global direction to develop leaders for a changing world. At global level, we have 4 types of actions that embody each area of opportunity: creative young entrepreneur for business, 10 outstanding young people for international, the JCI Rise Global Initiative to help develop the community through projects aligned with the SDGs and anchored in economic reality that boost economic and societal growth. And at the individual development side, our Global Leadership Masterclasses are here and destined to develop global entrepreneurs, networkers, communicators, and change makers. So this is essentially the global context of where we are going. This is the purpose of these masterclasses, to help develop leaders for this changing world and to align with JCI's global direction and its new strategic plan. So thank you again to everybody watching, and especially thank you to all the wonderful coaches involved and to the World Headquarters team with this project piloted by Senior Manager Comfort for their exceptional work and diligence over the last few years so that we can make this great and ambitious project happen. Wish you all the best. Back to you, Comfort.
Thank you very, very much, Secretary General Kevin. It's always an honor to hear you talk to our members with all the passion and all of the things you bring to the table, the additions. I mean, yourself is an additional value to the Global Leadership Masterclass, which we are really honored to have such a leader like yourself. Thank you very much. And as we move on, we want to also highlight the fact that we appreciate our members. We are really happy to know that our members are always willing to improve their abilities, which is why we are working extremely hard to bring these new opportunities to them. And at this time, we are bringing opportunities where they can have it from any part of the world. JSI is defined for its constant strive to innovate, and which is why, whether for ourselves, whether self-improvement, or whether for our products or programs, we have worked so very hard to bring this product, the Global Leadership Masterclass, which is no different from whatever we've been doing to make sure that we develop leaders for a changing world. Since the launch of the first series, Global Entrepreneur Masterclass last year, yes, we have been doing so much work, and which is why you have all these 3 wonderful leaders with us to talk about all the hard work we've put and what are some of the innovations you'll be expecting from every one of the coaches whom we have this time. So the next 3 series of the Global Leadership Masterclass will be the Global Networker, the Global Communicator, the Global Changemaker. If you want me, I'm gladly ready to tell you or remind you we had Global Entrepreneur Masterclass again. We had it last year. So these are the 4 series under the Global Leadership Masterclass, and this time we're expecting the 3 which I have just mentioned. Each of these 3 courses will feature 9 unique modules. For each of these modules or each of these courses which you'll be taking through with us, we have developed a storytelling-based approach. These are all leaders. You'll be hearing from them what has been their story so far, being networkers, being communicators, being change makers, which is exactly what happened with the global entrepreneurs. They gave us their stories as it actually was, live raw to us. So each module will follow after the first. So it's something that you find a lot of consistency. You know exactly, if I leave from this module, this is what will help me catch up on the next. So we are ready for you, just like you're ready to receive the product you're bringing your way. In addition to that innovation we have for you, dear friends of JSI, we have the pacing of these modules has also been improved so greatly. It's a true value of the Global Leadership Masterclass series and the ability for members to experience them from anywhere. I like to repeat the fact that from anywhere, you can fit these into your everyday program, whether at lunch at work, whether in a bus, whether in your car, you can just listen to it at any time. So it's a 9 module with short 30 minutes or less videos. You can just listen and be able to impact yourself positively. The user interface as well, which the Global Leadership Masterclass is also being worked on. It will be right at home on the JVC. Not just that, but it will be updated for one-click checkout solutions. I have actually been ready to call this out. I want everyone to get ready to always say this. It's a one-click checkout solution and the revamped user experience. I like those phrases when you repeat them, because that's how much we've worked so hard to bring this over to you. So finally, not finally actually, but for what we have put because of time, this is where we want you to be excited about what is going to be coming to you. We are just giving you just a little bit of what you'll be expecting. But at this point, you should also know that when we launched the Global Entrepreneur Masterclass, we got so many calls. People were asking, why don't you have it in other languages? Because everyone wants to be involved. Everyone wants to get a taste of what we have prepared. So for that reason, we are also working hard to bring it to our members in different languages like Japanese, like French, like Spanish, and also not forgetting the English captions. We cannot promise it right at launch, but I am personally promising that we will definitely have the subtitles brought to you while we keep on with this. So with all this exciting news out there in the world, next I would like to get to our three beautiful guests with us. I would like to get to Nihal, Marlen, and Asha, and these are course leads. They have taken extra responsibility to coordinate the work of the rest of the coaches. This is wonderful. This is what it means to have leaders who are dedicated, who are willing to go extra miles to do these wonderful things. So today, right now be introducing to you Nihal. Nihal was the 2019 JCI Vice President for Europe. She was the 2018 Turkey National President, as young as she is. Beautiful, young as she is, she's been a national president. So you too can be sometime once you go through the Global Leadership Masterclass, you gain the experiences on how to get there, as well as you have other opportunities in JSI to get you to that kind of position. And she was a crucial member of the 2022 JSI Strategic Planning Committee. She stepped up to lead the efforts of the 8 other coaches for Global Networker, which will be the next course released. Okay, so Nihal, please, we are really very excited to hear what sort of innovation and leadership that you and your team will be bringing to the table for our members. So Nihal, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comfort. It's actually super exciting for me to say a few words about JCI Global Masterclasses, Networker Masterclasses. But before jumping into the summary, I would like to give, let's say, a recognition or highlight to the amazing coaches that have been taking part in this Networker Masterclasses. Lars, Manuela, Jay, Nahla, Michelle, Rachel, Arrhenius, and Pascal. They have been actually amazing help to us to build these masterclasses. And for me, it was always a pleasure to be working with those outstanding individuals, not only because they are like inspiring JCI leaders, but also they are very well experienced global communicators and networkers. So let's give a little bit of insight for you and we came up with what you are expecting from these masterclasses and what are the surprises and lessons we can give you through these masterclasses. First, it will have a 3-level, and those 3 levels has like intentional networking, personal networking, and finally scaling up and leveraging a global network. So what we came up with in these networking sessions, first of all, it was really outstanding to work with those individuals because they have different experiences, they have different backgrounds in understanding the networking and importance of network. So we try to combine all of this experience, all of this knowledge, all of these crazy ideas in those sessions. So I hope that it will be giving you a sense of what we have prepared for you. And if I go a little bit of detailed explanation about the courses, first we start with Life as a Global Networker and Networking as a Lifestyle session done by Lars. And afterward, he will be talking about how to develop your own networking styles and how to increase your level of impact through this networking style. Following up, Manuela's effective networking strategies and techniques will give you a little bit of understanding on creating a networking mindset. And afterwards, Jay will take us to a journey that we will learn more about what kind of frameworks and tools we can use to influence and persuade into the people and increase our networking skills. After completing the first level, we will go into a second level where we dive into a little bit of creating an effective leadership relationship, building reputation, establishing trust type of information, actually prepared by Nihal. And afterwards, we will have understanding of graceful communication, which is prepared by Michelle. And this learning about this, we will also have an opportunity to practice through Rachel's session where she actually mentioned about best places to network. She will also explain about how to pay attention on taking more time or making your time more count while you are networking, because actually the most valuable asset we have is time, and when we use it in a wisely, we will also increase our potential in every level. After completing the second level, we will go into the third level, where Arhenis will start to talk about us how to use mass media to increase our personal network. And this session will be followed by Pascal's extraordinary tips about how to identify value of network, how to build and maintain relationship, and how to identify or approach the right mentors, and how to secure them, how to take value of them, and how to become a mentor, which is actually very intense and very interesting session. Last but not least, I will be taking afterwards and talking about how to amplify individuals by leveraging a JCI global network. And I hope that some of JCI members will be taking these courses and really paying attention to those sessions where they learn more about what is networking, why it is so important, and how we can actually create our own style and bring it out on different areas, different events, different programs that JCI offers, so that we can actually turn out to be a JCI global networker, or generally a global networker. Thank you, Comfort. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Coach Nihal. Thank you so much. It was amazing to hear all of those exciting things coming up. And one thing about the Global Network was the fact that I kept hearing the names of past presidents who have also decided to be part of this to share their experience. It's not going to be any news for us to know that JCI is that one organization that has great opportunities in terms of international growth. And at this time, we are making sure that members get the benefit of being part of this this great network, where you don't just go to international events, but you have an intention for going there, and you have a reason to be able to blow out once you come out from it, learn all the things you need to do and make the best out of it for your personal growth and for your business. So thank you very much, Nihal, for that. Right now we will move to the topic Global Communicator, which represents the JCI's individual development area of opportunity. And one of our stars for this course is Marlen Wehner, the 2022 JCI Germany National President. And Marlen was also just recently a trainer at the 2022 JCI Academy and has been a trainer many times at JCI European, at the European and JCI Germany Academies as well. So Marlen, we are super excited to hear what Global Communicator has in store for our wonderful members. Nihal, the floor is yours. Marlen, the floor is yours, sorry.
Thank you so much, dear Comfort, and thank you so much, everybody, for this great opportunity. Because to be honest with you guys, when I joined JCI, I never considered myself a global communicator or not even a global communication expert or something like that, because I was really scared to enter a room with strangers. I couldn't network at all. And I didn't consider myself making any change. But you know why? this story is very familiar to a lot of people who joined JCI. I found out that it's not my personal one because we all shared this story. That was hard learning in the first moment, but it was their learning that brought me to the communication of JCI. So when I joined JCI, barely I knew how much personal development and individual development opportunities I could discover here. So it is my personal honor to promote here the Global Communicator Masterclass, because this is one of the fundamental masterclasses in my opinion. It has like 3 stages, as you might know, and the base state, it's about you. It's about how you communicate. You may have the great ideas. You might have the heart to change the world. But if nobody knows, you probably will not do it. That's what it's all about. So first step, you have to work on yourself. You have to work on your self-evidence, your confidence. You have to work on your way you communicate, but also on your maybe debating skills, which brings us to the next training. It's about debating and public speaking. So be convincing. Having a story people are interested in, having a story people can relate to, can bring a lot of benefits to them because they understand how you feel at that very moment. And they want to understand what your story is all about. So being a global communicator also benefits in the global networker. And that is also an interesting finding, that all of the learnings that you will have here are combined with all of the other master classes. So next, if you want to be a good communicator, you have to learn about your surrounding. If you want to learn about your surrounding, it is good advice to be a good listener. Otherwise, you will not learn anything new. So active listening is one of the 3 fundamental courses of the self-confidence and self-development stage of the Global Communicator. After you have mastered those 3 parts, you will go to the next stage, which is negotiations. Now let's go a little deeper into the rabbit hole and understand more how you can use all the skills that you earned right now. How can you use that, not just being convincing, but also trying to find the best solutions for yourself, for the organization, and also for everybody else. So negotiation and also, of course, personal branding will be the next stages that we are going deeper into that course. But of course, not all things are always going in the right direction. Life changes, the world happens, and sometimes you're also confronted with crises. And you surely want to know what to do in that case as well, not just in the organization, but also when you're in a crisis situation where you want to communicate properly. This demands a lot of special skills that we will teach you also in the negotiations and sales part, how to communicate proper in a crisis and how to get through as a team in the best way out of that. Mastering that, now we can go global. Going global means that we have to understand not just ourselves, but not just only others, but the whole presence of cultures in our world. To understand how people communicate, what are their needs, what are their wishes, how can we help them to fulfill them in order to receive the best for everything and everybody of us. So in the 3rd part, the going global part, we will understand how culture is affecting our way of communication and how organizations are also part of that ecosystem, how organizations are communicating. And it's not just about JCI, but it's of course about JCI as well. It's also about your very own organization. And again, this links also to the Global Entrepreneurship Masterclass. So it's always a link between of all those mastership classes, which makes them so unique. You might be surprised if you're looking for another excitement in all of our courses, how much of all this knowledge is already present in our organization. Because as Nihal already mentioned, it is not professional trainers that we bought from somewhere. It is members of JCI sharing their very own stories, knowing exactly what kind of story you are in right now. They know the points where you are because they've been there. So the knowledge that has been changed, it's very firsthand. And it's also very valuable, I think, for every JCI member, but also everybody who's just interested in being a great leader, a great global leader. And that's why I'm really convinced that the Global Communicator Masterclass will add a lot of benefit to your personal life, also your JCI life, but of course, it will change the world around you. Thank you so much for the possibility to be a part of that.
Thank you very much, Coach Marlen. That was an amazing. It felt like I was sitting next to you and just digesting. I mean, the voice, the tone, how you do it. That's exactly what we feel like being in a communication course that you are leading. Thank you so very much. It's always a pleasure to hear from a leader dedicated to developing the skills of others. Finally, let's have a look into the future at the 10th Global Leadership Masterclass in development. And we are talking about the Global Changemaker Masterclass with Coach Asha Auckloo. She is a forensic scientist by trade. She's a dedicated leader in JCI. She has served as 2020 Executive Vice President and 2018 Vice President assigned to Africa and the Middle East. She's done so much in her JCI career, and her leadership in Global Changemaker is just the next thing she is bringing to our organization. It's always an honor to be in a room with Asha. Thank you so much for joining us and for accepting to be with us today despite your very tight schedule. So I give the floor over to Coach Asha.
Thank you very much, Comfort. I would say that it is indeed a privilege for me to be the head coach for the Global Changemaker, because I believe that myself is a living example of the transformation of this, coming into an organization where my professional background is really scientific, and then learning about how to manage a project, how to work with other team members who have different assets, different values, and also different challenges, and trying to know what are your limits and how can you deal with different people to bring out the best in these individuals who are sparing time to come in an organization, be it at your professional place, be it in a voluntary organization, or be it in your personal life. It gives the opportunity to know yourself, but best to understand the other person, how he or she is feeling at the time that he or she is interacting with you. So learning from people and also accepting our own challenges is the gist of being a global change maker. Because if we really want to create impact, we need to know that we are here to work with others. As I've said, be it in GCI, be it in your professional life or in your personal life, it's really about interacting with others. So what it is to be a global change maker? A global change maker for me is to accept the ideas of others, bearing in mind that we have a certain goal, a certain objective to achieve, but we should be staying within our limits, meaning to say guided by our values, the values of the company, or the values of the organization. It's very important to be able to bring the assets of your team members to make sure that they all understand in which direction we are going, so that you really work out the team to find the best out of each and every individual. If we look at the 5 fingers of our hand, they are not the same. But when we bring them together, they bring the force that is required to move mountains. The same thing happens when we identify the assets in different people. Okay, and so this global change maker module will talk about what are our own limits, knowing yourself before going to work with others. We brought in different modules that will talk mainly about project management. That is, how do you manage a project by also managing people? How to be an effective leader by knowing your own limits and accepting others. Okay, I remember that during the GCI Academy, we were themed by Kyokan leadership, that is empathy. So it's always putting yourself at the place of others before guiding or directing others. Trying to understand what the other person can bring to you is very important. And then, as we know, the financial aspect is always a challenge or a constraint in any type of project. So we'll bring to you how to bring financial initiatives and techniques, how you can manage the different projects. Above all, we know that a simple action can create an impact in the local community and can go global. So we'll try to show you how simple action that you work with your community by providing the development opportunities can create a ripple effect and have an international and global impact. It is all about managing change. You should know that with this era, with this COVID pandemic, we have learned how to be able to manage change, because we might have a plan, but the plan doesn't work with the challenge. So what do? Do we stop leading? How do we motivate our members? So firstly, we need to motivate ourselves. by being guided by the global picture. Not limited by our own boundary, but really seeing how we can work beyond these boundaries. COVID has been able to show how this organization known as GCI been able to remain relevant despite the challenges. And this happens when we take back our values back to the professional and personal life. So it's really about challenging status quo. So what do we need to be an effective leader? Is sharing the values, sharing the global goal, and challenging status quo. We'll also talk about how to scale a local initiative to a global one, to make it to create the simple ripple effect, so that we know that challenges are not the same. Every country, every community has their own specificity. But if we take it globally, no one is working under silos. We shouldn't be working under silos. We should be having a platform of sharing. For example, if something is relevant in one part of the world, by having a platform to share what is happening at the other end of the world, I'm sure that we can learn from each other. And this module will bring to you assets and live stories about how communicating with each other, sharing best practices, and learning from challenges can make us become really global change maker. We'll also try to bring to you innovative ways and also focus on how we can create our own imprint. Following others doesn't make that much impact, but bringing our own ingredient, bring our own touch in the projects or in anything that we are doing really makes the difference. And we often say that being a global change maker is only working with our own community. But where do we define our community? Does our community, is our community only the surrounding around us, or we are really a global village? So the global change maker will talk about that also, on how to build on the social capital. That is, we need to know what our community has. So starting from the community, working with different stakeholders and government agencies, we will really unite all sectors of society to see that a local project can really create the ripple effect to make it become global. And just to wrap up, I would say also thank you to all the coaches who have been working with us about on this module. Throughout this module, we'll try to bring you 3 different levels, starting from promoting economic and societal growth that is within your own community, and then take it to have a global influence. That is, how can you scale up your projects, the impact you're creating at local level to a national or international level, and lastly, how to bring innovation into your projects, innovation into what you are doing. So really, we are really looking forward to share these experiences with you. And thank you again for this opportunity. Back to you, Comfort.
Thank you very, very much, Coach Asha. This has been so fantastic to listen to all of you talk. And even though I have been working so closely with every one of you to develop the next 3 Global Leadership Masterclass series, today has made me even more excited for them and more, even happier for being part of this, for SG Kevin to have given me the opportunity to work on this wonderful project. I cannot even wait to see how much our members will love the Global Networker Masterclass, which is coming their way soon. We'll have some news about this course coming very soon. But remember, members have to stay tuned to be able to get all this exciting news and the wonderful product coming. Don't forget to quote our leaders anywhere, because they mean everything they said today, and they will continuously do this for us. So it's your turn tomorrow. Learn from the best people you can, get their stories, change your lives, be better, and come back to give back to the communities that we all are working towards to build. I hope these discussions have drawn even more attention to this Global Leadership Masterclass series, which are truly an amazing resource for our members all over the world. So Coach Nihal, as we call all the leaders of the masterclasses coaches. So they'll be sharing their stories, and we call them coaches who say so. Coach Nihal, Coach Marlen, Coach Asha, thank you so much for sharing all these valuable insights to our members. I will also want to say a very big thank you to our amazing Secretary General, who has always been there. He's been the backbone. He's been the main guide through this project. He's been there supporting us. So thank you everyone for being here. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone has something to say. SG Kevin, first, if you have anything to say.
I'd like to leave the floor to the coaches first, please.
You see what a true leader does. So coaches, over to you. Do you have anything to say? Thank you so much, by the way. Again, with this always.
I can start maybe. Actually, there are obviously a lot to say because this is a huge experience. And when you when you are part of a network, it helps you in different levels. Even though I have been considered an experienced JCI member now, being a part of this experience, being a part of these master classes has taught me a lot, because there are so many experienced people. They do their professional, they grow their professions through this network and through the things that they have learned here. And I am one of them. Thanks to JCI, I have now, I could say that I'm a better person. I am a better entrepreneur, and I'm a better networker because the things that we learned here. And what we did during preparing these sessions, we tried to put all the experience we had. And it's not only the personal experience, it's professional experience as well. And obviously the experience that we gained in JCI. And we truly hope that this experience will guide you in a better way than it did to us. And I hope to see some of the members say at the end of these sessions, they will say that through these global master classes, they learned how to be a better networker, be a better communicator, be a better change maker, a better entrepreneur. And I really hope to see and hear those stories soon in the JCI events. And I'm looking forward to be amazed by those stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Nihal. The floor is still open to our wonderful leaders.
This being said, Nihal, that was really, really inspiring. Thank you so much. And I can just add on that, as a trainer, as you mentioned before, Comfort, it is exciting to see the next level of JCI training at this very moment, to be a witness to this very unique opportunity that we offer to the members, and also have these great coaches on all of the site. That is really exciting for me, and it's an honor to work with all those great people. And on the other hand, to witness this next level of JCI training, and also something that is so much global and so well according to our values. So thank you so much for this opportunity, also on behalf of all the coaches who are helping to make this a really unique experience.
Thank you very much.
And so I would just like to add on to what Nihal and Marlen said, and speak to our viewers today to tell you that JCI has really been thinking aloud in bringing these master classes to you. So please make good use of it. And we've always said that it's better to have live experiences, real life stories, rather than reading. You can gather that knowledge of reading by Google or by anything, but bringing these master classes will bring you experience of, I would say, genuine leaders around the world of the 4 areas, and especially their personal interaction and their personal history will give you an insight of how, by being in a global network, we can just create amazing things together. And I wish to thank JCI once again for this wonderful initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach Asha. Thank you, everyone of our wonderful female leaders. I see what women do. So thank you so much. And now we will also want to hear a word from the Secretary General, Kevin.
Yes. Thank you, Comfort, and thank you to all the amazing leaders who spoke today. It was extremely inspiring to hear this preview of the upcoming masterclasses. and you know, how it all links to your stories as well. It's very important to understand the big picture at JCI, and having all the masterclass leaders together, the future masterclass leaders, to put this into perspective really will hopefully help all the viewers understand what we want to achieve with this, as well as with Global Entrepreneur, to give, as I mentioned, the full leadership journey. So I can't wait to see for the final results to be released to the public. Just so you know, when each masterclass is released, it will all be promoted on the JCI virtual community, on the new landing page, and also on our social media. And there will be, as usual, a special price for JCI members, and there will be a standard price for the public as well, so that these masterclasses will be open to the public and to JCI members at a 50% discount, those who are registered on the JCI virtual community too. There'll also be, in the future, opportunities to interact through the JCI virtual community with the coaches for those who have questions on any specific topics, those who are registered and want to interact. There'll be a special JCI Global Leadership Masterclass group on the JCI virtual community. And also, if you come to the future in-person events in 2023, the area conferences and the World Congress, you will have the opportunity to interact with our coaches as well, as I'm pretty sure that they will be there in various roles and responsibilities at JCI in the future. So again, this is a great way of showing how our members have talent, not only through JCI, but also how their personal and professional careers can help enhance JCI too and level things up. So thank you again, and back to you, Comfort. Look forward to seeing many members joining the upcoming Global Networker Masterclasses, Men, Communicator and Changemaker. All the best to you. Thanks.
Looking forward to many members. Thank you so much, SG Kevin. Thank you very much, our amazing leaders of the Global Leadership Masterclass. This is all we have for you today, actually. I hope it was quite of a surprise show to everyone, as much as it was to me. And thanks for your attention, and be on the lookout for more news about the Global Networker Masterclass coming to you soon. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day.